I thought I would do a recap of Young and Pregnant. I have to go back and watch all the episodes and recap them like really in rapid succession for you guys. Just an FYI, if you're watching this later, this is something that I premiered with my premium co-reporters, aka my channel members. So if you want to get early access to these Young and Pregnant videos that I'm catching up on, make sure to hit that join button down below. Join us for early discussions about Young and Pregnant and other videos as well. So let's get from the very top of, this is the third episode of the season. This is where I left off. So at the very top, Briana is feeling a lot of doubt about her mothering skills because Braeson is so attached to her mom. Like, we see her pick Braeson up from her mom's place, and Braeson's talking about, no, I don't want to leave, I love my grandma. And Briana feels very insecure about that. And later she talks to her sister about it, and I really understand the context of where she's coming from. She's like, you know, people don't seem to really respect me as my son's mother because I am so young and I look so young. So that's even daycare people, that's even doctors and stuff like that. When we've done lives with you guys, my channel members, like a couple of you guys have said this as well, you know, who were young mothers. And so I really understand where she's coming from and how that might be frustrating and how that might really bruise her ego. It's sad that she's going to take away from Braeson's time with his grandma and grandma's time with Braeson, but I do understand the jealousy and where that comes from and really wanting to just cement her place as his mom and being respected in that role. Now we get over to Rachel and her boyfriend Noah. I have to say, he is so nice to her. Like, this is like a complete 180 from the guy who just like all of a sudden up and left her and her daughter's stuff on his front porch and told them to kick rocks basically last season. You know, like, he's driving her to get contacts and then he asks her how much the contacts cost and she tells him like $102 or something like that, and he tells her that he's gonna send her half. I'm like, that is so sweet. Like, it really is beautiful. Like, he's a very generous, kind-hearted person, and I love that for her. Not only that, but he does drive her everywhere. We just talked about him driving her to the contact lens place, but she also wants to get the she also wants to get her driver's license at the DMV. She has attempted to get her license before, but she fails the vision test. She's got like vision problems. That's why she got the contacts. And so Noah is going to be driving her to do that test as well. So he just really is so sweet. I really like that for her. When they get back home, we get to a scene that was both bizarre and very sad. So she puts her contacts in with dirty fingers. So she's rubbing her skin, getting her makeup off, and then she puts the contacts in. And the guy's telling her, he's like, I'm pretty sure you should not put those contacts in with dirty hands. Maybe you should wash your hands. And she didn't want to. I was like, imagine what else she doesn't wash. Like, I am such a stickler for hygiene, I swear. Like, I'm scared of people with bad hygiene. Like, I would be like catching the ick off that, but I digress. So she puts the contacts in with her dirty fingers, and even with those like fingerprints in her contacts, she sees herself a lot clearer. She's like, I've always seen myself kind of blurry. But she's so casual about it. I'm like, oh my God, like, that's so sad. Imagine the headaches that you get like from seeing blurry. Like, oh my God, I don't know how she did it for so long. She's like, wow, like, I'm seeing myself clearly for the first time, and it is bringing up all these insecurities I didn't even know I have. She calls her teeth like yellow corn kernel teeth or something like that. And she says she's got bad skin and she's just really freaking out. And I felt for her. I was like, you poor thing, that must be kind of traumatic, you know? And Noah, he was like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I think you still look good. It's like, well, of course you do, because your vision didn't change. It's only her vision who that changed. I thought that was kind of funny. So she actually does start crying about it. She's like, oh my God, I didn't know I looked like this. And now I'm feeling so insecure. Like Noah said, it just takes some getting used to. She'll be fine. So Xavier, he places a collect call from prison to his mama to announce plans to go to college and move out of Virginia without his kid, basically. So the mom's like, well, don't you want to work on your co-parenting relationship with Kaya, get closer to your son Amor? And, well, oh my God, look at me mispronouncing it like that. Get closer to your son Amour. And oh, that was so funny. And so he basically says that he doesn't want to deal with Kaya. Like, of course he wants a relationship with his son, but he doesn't want to deal with Kaya. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out, because she's been raising him single-handedly while you've been sitting in prison, Xavier. So you're going to need to deal with her, you know, in order to gain her trust, to spend more time, or spend time, period, because you haven't really, with Amour. So let's get into Kayla. So Kayla and Luke and his mom are all kind of just sitting outside talking about how they want to move forward past the cheating on both sides, and how they want to get on the same page with his sister, who was like riding for him like she was his damn wife or something like that. Like, it was really weird. And so I thought that was nice. Like, they seem very calm and chill and everything like that. So I hope that they are able to maintain this new kind of level of calm moving forward. So honestly, After watching Briana's scenes with her son Braeson, it's kind of easy for me to see why he enjoys spending so much time with his grandma. Like, I feel like the grandma is very soft and gentle and kind and just speaks to him like in a comforting way. Versus Briana. Like, Briana can be very snappy with him, very rude with him. And I swear, I don't know if I'm paranoid or not, but like sometimes I swear to God, this girl gives her own kid like dirty looks. Like she mean mugs him sometimes, you guys. And so I could totally see why like he feels so much more, some like love. I don't want to say love. That's really harsh. I'm not going to say that. I can see why he really loves spending time with grandma. Why don't we leave it at that? So here comes Madison, you guys. Her stepmom looks more and more over her SHIT every episode, and I don't blame her because Madison seems like such a drain. I'm sorry, I could not marry a man with a child like Madison. She's just so overly dependent on him. Like, I get it, you had the kid young and stuff, but figure it out. Like, you're grown, you're a mom, figure it out. The stepmom tries to tell Madison to envision a life without Christian because Madison wants to look at like apartments with Christian or houses with Christian and stuff like that. And listen, I do understand why Madison, even though that relationship is a total dead end, I understand why she wants to look at places with him. It's because she does not have the money to do it alone. So she has to, unfortunately, settle for him for the time being, apparently. But I feel like there are services or something like that to help her do it alone. But that's just her mindset. Like, it'll be easier to have someone in the house to help with money. And also, even though Christian doesn't mind Camille that much, he doesn't watch her, it's something sometimes. And like she says that he's starting to watch her more and more. So maybe that's the reason she's sticking around. I don't know. But yeah, like it really sucks to watch her waste her life like this. Something that was really interesting in Kaya's scene a little bit later, as she's talking to her mom and Tiaja, she lets it slip that she never actually legally established herself as Amour's custodial parent. I was like, wow, that's so weird that you would even have to do that after you give birth to the kid, right? I think it's Virginia where they live. And so she's like, yeah, it's something you got to do. I never did it. I have to get it done. With Xavier coming out of prison soon and stuff like that, about to kick up some dust. Let me get this stuff in writing. She does mention that she feels as though Xavier isn't doing enough to build a bond with his son, which I can agree with. I have not seen that many collect calls from him. We only started seeing them, I saw like one last season or maybe two, but not enough. Like, he needs to call more often to have some kind of a relationship with his son. Now, here was a sad scene. I remember seeing previews of it before, but Braeson gets like his arm nub stuck in a mug. Briana and her mom are freaking out. They're panicking. I'm like, get the soap, get the soap. It'll be so easy, just slips right out. But when you're in the moment, you're in a restaurant, you're like, how do I ask them for soap? Like, what? Like, you're just freaking out. And he was crying and like freaking out himself. Like, he was obviously in pain. It was really squeezing him. You could see it turning red. And Briana just yells at him. She's like, stop crying. You did this. So why are you even crying? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I was like, oh, girl, that's your son. Like, why are you so mean? And then the grandma, she was freaking out as well, but like not blaming the kid and like really chastising him in the moment. I was like, Briana, look at this. This is why. This is why. Like, it just felt like, what good is badgering gonna do for him now? Is it gonna get his arm unstuck, Briana? Is it? Like, come on now. Luckily, she did have hand sanitizer in her bag, so they used that to help get it to slip out. Now, back over to Rachel. She was supposed to get her license first thing in the morning, but then she canceled because Noah was working 12 hours that night until like the early morning. And so she's like, I don't want him driving me exhausted like that. Her mom though, and it's so funny, the mom's intuition, a mother's intuition, because I bought it, hook, line, and sinker. I was like, oh, that's very considerate of you. That he's willing to do it, but as his girlfriend, you're like, it's not in his best interest. So I'm just gonna let him have his rest and we'll do this another day. But her mom clocked her. She goes, Rachel, stop it. So when are you gonna get this thing done? And then Rachel admits that she hadn't really been studying. So I think it's really, for that reason. So she's like, I've been doing more sleeping than studying, but I am gonna get it done this week, September, spring, summer, basically. Let's get into Luke and Kayla's relationship again. So his mother and his sister are sitting on the couch talking about his relationship with Kayla and how Kayla is manipulative to Luke. And what they mean by that is the fact that Kayla always excuses her own actions by calling upon the fact that Luke cheated on her at some point. And the mom's like, I'm so sick and tired of her doing that because when he cheated, I told her to leave him and she chose to stay. So if you're gonna stay, you can't keep using this as some kind of a trump card, which to some extent, I kind of agree with, you know, like if you choose to stay with someone who cheats on you, first of all, God bless you, good luck with that. But second of all, like, find a more productive way to move forward in your relationship than to constantly bring it up or to cheat back because you feel like it's owed to you. Like, that's just not healthy. And so the sister who sees herself as his wife, who must defend him at all costs, says that Kayla is also really like shady and fake because she could spend hours and days talking crap about Luke and all the stuff Luke is doing wrong whenever they're having conversations together. But then the moment that she, meaning Luke's sister, who sees herself as his wife, brings up some of the stuff that Kayla's doing wrong in their relationship, Kayla doesn't want to have a conversation. She's bolting and she's shutting it down immediately. That I could totally see. Listen, I think that you're both right here. I think they're both right. I understand their perspectives and why they're irritated with Kayla. However, what I did not appreciate about this scene was when his mom, with like at her age, her grown-ass age with a daughter and everything, and a granddaughter, like, it's wild to me. But the mom, she goes, you know what, anyway, like, even though I support Kayla and I love Kayla and stuff like that, the most important person to me in their relationship is Luke. That's my son. That's my mother effing son. You know, I don't give an F about a bitch. That's my mother effing son. I was like, oh, you're gonna call the mother of your grandkids a bitch? Like the internalized misogyny of it all. I was really disgusted by that. I have to say, you guys, that was really shameful. She should be embarrassed. You were way too damn old to be, you know, talking like that. That's some real clown girl, S-H-I-T. I can't. She looked like Boo Boo the Fool up there. Let's get back to the collect calls, y'all. So Kaya calls Xavier, who insists on taking a move on his own for a few days or a week, like as soon as he gets out of prison. It's like, sir, you were a stranger. That child does not know you. You know, it was crazy. And I have to say that that guy actually gives Nathan a run for his money in terms of just like spouting off a bunch of nonsensical garbage. Like, you know, people who just talk and you don't know what the heck they're talking about. It's just, none of it makes sense. Like, he'll say a lot of just like weird stuff where you're like, what does that mean? Like, I know this is English and I know these words. I understand these words individually. But in this sentence and in this context, it makes literally not one lick of sense. The elevator is not going to the penthouse suite. Anyway, you guys, that does it. A recap of what happened on the third episode of the season of Young and Pregnant. Again, if you want to have early access to this, make sure to sign up, hit the join button down below for a channel membership and join us in the conversations about Young and Pregnant this season. Take care. See you in my next video, you guys. Bye.